Alright, hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to do an eye zoom transition into true eyes. Alright, let's open CapCut. And then we're gonna take a new project and I'm gonna select the video that I previously picked out to make a demonstration. Alright, so we're gonna go to and then look at the first video. We want to cut away the part that is like when it starts to blink her eyes, and then go split and delete, and then I want the part where she cover up her mouth, and then we will split that again and delete. And then afterward I would add and then the stock video, and then click on the black screen and click add, and now I'm gonna put that at the front. So now the second video, I'm gonna select the second video. You want to click on overlay and then drag it to the front, press and hold, and then drag it to the left. So now this video will be the first one, and then I'm gonna shorten the video, this first black screen, this clip, to 9 seconds. So what you want to do, so what happened is we're gonna see the guy right open up his book, and then the fire come up, right? That's when you start to split the video. So that way it will show the first video, and the second video, what you want to do is to start adding in a keyframe, right? A keyframe, and then the next step, make sure you turn on your mask. That way it starts to record that you have a mask turned on. And now turn on the circle mask, and then you press in the middle part of the circle and then expand it. Open up wide, right? So that way now it's in the full screen. So the next step you want to do is to move it to the middle section of the girl's eyes before she even cover up her mouth. That is the part when you start to make a second transition, making a second effect. So because I want to do a spin in spin and zoom in transition. So what I want to do is click on adjust, edit, and then click on rotate, right? And then afterward I would go back to my mask, and then I click, and then I to zoom in, make the circle smaller to fit into the middle like that. And then you click and hold, and then you adjust it, right? And then you see the arrow, the true arrow pointing toward the left. That is give it a way for you to make a little transition. That way it doesn't look like it's a solid color. So I would like to just make a small little transition, not too much, right? And then I will pinch my screen on both sides with my thumb, and then start to pinch it in, and make the circle even smaller. So the best way to move the circle around is to press and hold. So make sure you get it to the middle of the eyes, and then you just keep on pinch it down, and pinch it down until it's like so tiny and it's like nothing there. And then you click done. So now if you scroll back, you just drag the video back, you will see a transition like this into her eyes, right? So what we want to do now is the minute she cover up her mouth, that's the finish of the clip. So you want to select that and then split, and then you want to delete the last clip. So now your video would look like this. So how we gonna do it with the other eye? So I want to do it in a way that true eyes, the image spin into it with true eyes. So what I want to do, I'm select the first, the overlay clip, and I click copy. So that way it has a similar footage as what we set up earlier. So what I want to do, press and hold, and then drag it to the left, to the bottom left, right? Now, these two clips, as you can see, I just select this two, it has the same footage. So you see the first keyframe has always been set it up. So what I want to adjust right now is the second keyframe, right? So what I want to do here is I'm gonna select it first, and then I'm going to remove it, right? And then I'm going to adjust. Actually edit, I keep saying adjust, edit. And then instead of click on the rotate button, instead of click on the rotate button, you want this time, because it's always spin it to your left. So what you want to do is use your hand and you just grab two sides of the picture and you spin it to your right. So that way, the image is gonna split and spin in, like rotate it in the opposite direction. So afterward, you wanna select the mask. Right? And then you press and hold the middle button, and then the middle of the circle, and then you pinch it in. So that way it starts to get smaller to the side that you want it. And now you're gonna move it toward her eyes, and then use both your thumb and keep on pinch it in, right? But don't pinch it too small, because once it gets too small, it's hard for you to move the circle around, the mask circle around. So what you want to do, you want to adjust it to fit right into her eyeball before you continue to adjust it to smaller. So keep it up, and then now we're gonna continue to zoom in, and then keep pinch it in and pinch it in until it become a little dot like nothing there. All right, and then you click the check button, and pretty much it. All right, now let's see how the video do. You see that? Isn't that cool? So here's the final part, and then what we're gonna do, want to export it. Okay, now we're gonna do a second example. We're gonna use a similar clip as we did earlier. However, this time we're gonna do a little tweak, right? We're gonna do a little different compared to the one before. So first, we wanna put a reference point where the girl's finished blinking her eyes. Put a keyframe there, and then when she cover up her mouth, I want to split that clip, right? Split and then delete. So now, the minute she open her eyes, at this keyframe here, I want to do a little different transition. I want to do a zoom out transition from her eyes. Let's do that. All right, it's going from here, and then as we move it toward the end of the clip, I want it to zoom out. When she about to cover up her mouth, that's when the whole clip zoom out. All right, we can take a look at it. So it start out like this, and then slowly zoom out, and then she cover up her mouth. All right, now we want to select the second clip. We're gonna click on overlay, move the second clip toward the beginning of the video, and then we're gonna trim away the part that we finished with the first video, the top video. We're gonna delete it first. Now, what we want to do is to look for the reference points, right? About there. We're gonna click on this overlay clip, and then we're gonna split that. So that way, when we look at the video, it start out as this, like that, right? Before any transition happening. So once you get to the second clip, at the same time as the clip at the top, I want to first select the overlay clip first, and then put on a keyframe. And then at the same time, you want to turn on your mask and select the circle mask, and then zoom it out first, like that, right? You see from my screen. And then you want to move it to the middle part where she about to cover up her mouth, before she cover up her mouth. And then you want to zoom it in, make the circle smaller. So with this, you don't have to pinch it all the way in. We're gonna use the whole screen and then adjust it that way. Now we're gonna click on the check, and I'm gonna use through my thumb, right? As you can see, my screen is being selected. I'm gonna use both my thumb and then resize the screen to smaller. So now I can easily move it around toward her eyeball. Alright? Now, as we move the clip, you see her face pulling backward. You're gonna use that and then just move it toward her eyes, but continue to pinch it smaller as it move it away from you. Before she blink her eyes, you wanna move it there and then continue to pinch it to make it very, very tiny, right? Pinch it so small to the point where you cannot see it again. Okay? Now, we're done. Okay, we can take a look at from here, the transition should start to get smaller. Zoom into her eyes. Boom. Now, you want to select that clip. What you want to do is do the same thing as the first video we saw earlier. Make a copy of the footage. And then you move it to, you press and hold. You select and then drag it to the bottom. Now it becomes a third layer, right? Boom, into her eyes. So while this third layer is there, right? What you want to do is to drag and move it to the right eyes. Okay? And now, as you move, you see that the other clip, it tries to move it back toward the other eyes. What you want to do is remove that the third keyframe there. So when it gets to that part, right, from here to that part, and then as the eyes move away, you want to move it toward the eyes again. As they move away, you want to make it resize it smaller. Before she blink, you want to pinch it down, right? Into her eyes. Gets so small now you cannot even see the video. Alright, now take a look at it again. So this is how it's gonna turn out. But I want to adjust the top video too. So that way you can see the fire still going on in her eyes at this time. You want to zoom it back out a little bit while you select the second video. So that way it look perfectly matched. You just have to play around with it and see, when is the best time when you want to zoom out and when you want to zoom in. Okay, we got a little messed up here, but it's okay. We can slowly adjust it because now we can move it even smaller. Alright. Before she blink her eyes. Boom, got it. Alright, and that's the final result. As you can see, let's play the video while you here. Boom, that's how it's gonna look. Let's export it. Let's have a comparison. Which one's your favorite?